Hello and welcome to the Weekly Rewind presented by Attractions Magazine. I'm your host, Nick Russo, and this installment is for July 21st, 2014. Now, if you don't know, this is a look back on the last 7 days of our Twitter feed from the post that we have shared, as well as the post from our friends. Now, we're going to go ahead and get started on Monday, July 14th, 2014. And what we're looking at here is actually a vine right off the bat, and it's a vine of the Illuminations globe heading backstage after the show. Now, if you've never seen this before, it's a pretty stunning sight, the bridge going up and the globe heading back there automatically, and if you can see this in person, I would highly recommend it. Now, moving on, also on July 14th, a little out of Central Florida, but Patrick Z Films, aka Patrick, who many of you probably know from Attraction, shared this lights-on photo of the Indiana Jones Adventure Ride over at Disneyland in California. Going to move on here to July 15th. Now, there was only one support column remaining on the Jurassic Park arch over by Toon Lagoon. Now, this is part of the very new construction that is rumored to be a King Kong attraction. No official word from Universal yet, but you can read more about that on our blog. Over on July 15th as well, we headed over to Wild Florida to take an airboat ride, and we also met some pretty awesome animals and a whole lot more over in Wild Florida. We did a full report over there on our last show over on the Attractions Magazine YouTube channel, so be sure to head over and check that out as well. Furthermore, on July 15th, there were still some Star Wars weekend pins available for sale and left over at D Street in Hollywood Studios, as you can see here. On July 16th, we got a pretty interesting photo shared from Busch Gardens. This is pretty unique, but the Florida National Guardsmen were doing some water rescue training over in the Congo River Rapids attraction, Also, on July 16th, Gringotts did close around 7 p.m. because of capacity. Now, keep that in mind because they are doing this now. So if you're going to be over in the park and heading over to Gringotts, keep in mind that they have been closing around 7 o'clock because of capacity. And the reason for this is simply because if they were to close later, they wouldn't be able to cycle clear of all the guests and the ride vehicles in an efficient manner. Now, on July 17th, we learned our first street experience at Halloween Horror Nights 2014 in Orlando, which was said to be a face-off themed area. No exact word on how this is going to be done, but all we know is that there are going to be characters featured from the past seasons of the show in this street experience. Also on July 17th, we spotted a guest at Epcot very much representing their Oswald the Lucky Rabbit side on their car, going from their license plate to their antenna from their sticker there, and that's actually not something you always see in Orlando. You usually see Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, that sort of thing, but not very often do you get to see an Oswald-themed, an Oswald fan. On July 18th, we shared a question that Universal included on one of their surveys, and that question is, which of these would you like to see included in a new land at Universal Orlando? Now, you can go ahead and pause the video and check out your options because there are a lot of them. And go ahead and leave your answer in the comments below. Which one of these would you like to see included in an area at Universal Orlando? Also on July 18th, Gaylord Palms revealed the theme of their annual ice event at the resort. This year, we learned that the theme will be the Nutcracker. Moving on, also on July 18th, we shared a tip on this day as well. That is, when ordering ice cream at the Florine Fortescue's in Diagon Alley, you do get 2 scoops, so keep in mind that you can choose 2 different flavors, and you might actually get more for your money that way. On July 18th as well, thanks to Brand Glover, he showed us that there was now nothing remaining of that Jurassic Park arch over by Toon Lagoon, which we shared before. Moving on later in the week to July 19th, thanks to BioReconstruct, we saw the first iron arch for a new bridge had gone up over at Disney Springs, or Downtown Disney. Still remains to be called Disney Springs, but yes, the first iron arch for a new bridge had gone up over in front of the Rainforest Cafe. And finally, on July 20th, Sunday, thanks to BioReconstruct once again, we caught a glimpse of Falcon's Fury over at Busch Gardens. Construction is still delayed, unfortunately, for the attraction, as the ride vehicles seem to be suspended on chains while work was being done behind a scrim here. And the last thing we're going to see here on July 20th, a new walk-around character, well, two new walk-around characters were debuted at the Give Kids the World Village. These two you see here are Rugby and Remy. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this installment of the Weekly Rewind for July 21st, 2014. I'm Nick Russo. Once again, thank you guys for stopping by as always. And until next time, have fun. Bye.